Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Puti Khairani as a presenter for today. And topic of my presentation today is students' reading comprehension problem in reading analytical acquisition text in SMAN 1 Solok. With the author Yunita Huta Barat and Ma'am Yeti Zainil, Universitas Negeri Padang. All right. This is the contents about this topic. The main point I will be talking about are firstly abstract, secondly introduction, next method, then result and discussion, and the last conclusion. All right, let's start from abstract. This study is aimed to find out students' reading comprehension problem in reading analytical acquisition text in SMAN 1 Solok. This study was conducted through descriptive quantitative method. The sample of this study was 30 students taken from class which got the lowest score in English subject according to preliminary research and interview with English teacher. Furthermore, the data were collected by using reading comprehension test and questionnaire. All right, let's move on introduction. Reading skill has been learned from elementary school up to university through the importance of this skill among the 4 skills of a language. According to Brown, reading skill is an essential part of studying a language as it can be used to measure someone's general ability of a language. Therefore, the statement is supported by Harrison. He mentioned that reading took a part in someone's development either in mental, emotion, moral, or verbal intelligence. Unfortunately, reading is not as simple as being able to pronounce word by word fluently. The most important one in reading process is understanding the substance of what you have read. To simply, we commonly know this as reading comprehension. As a non-native country, reading in English and comprehending English texts are much more difficult for Indonesian students since they are not familiar with sound and form of English. So it kinda difficult for both teachers and students to work together in improving students' reading comprehension skill. In order to find out a student's reading comprehension problems and its factors, a researcher conducted a study entitled "A Student's Reading Comprehension Problem in Reading Analytical Exposition Text in SMAN 1 Solok." Analytical exposition text is a type of text which function to influence readers thinking about an issue surrounding. All right, let's move on method. A, this research was conducted through a descriptive qualitative approach. Descriptive research involves collecting data to find out answer questions concerning the current status of the object of study. B, there were 343 students from 11 classes. As the population quite large, the researcher took 30 students out of 11 classes. So this is the population of this research was second year student of SMAN 1 Solok. C, purposing sampling technique was used in this research. Purpose sampling technique was used in this research. This type of sampling is chosen because the researcher can read the target sample quickly. It will be easy to get a sample of a subject with a specific characteristic. And the research instrumentation used was reading comprehension test consists of 25 question, and questionnaire consists of 44 items. So, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the data were collected online by using Google Form. Students were given 45 minutes to answer the reading test and 25 minutes to fill the questionnaire. All right, let's move on research and discussion. First, research. Student problem in comprehending analytical exposition. All right, you can see the data. According to the table above, it can be seen that only 2 students were in afferent level. Therefore, the rest of the students were poor in comprehending analytical exposition text. This is the data about distribution of students' problem in comprehending analytical exposition text. And these two tables are related, okay? All right, let's explain. First, making inference was the higher problem faced by participant. All right, okay, participant. From figure above, it can be seen that less than 20% of students were able to answer the question related to inference in a question. For 3 questionnaires given 2, 8, 17, the number of students that answered correctly was less than 10 people. In conclusion, students were not able to comprehend inference in analytical exposition text. And reference was the second higher problem had by participants. You can see, all right? There were 70.10% of participants unable to answer the question about referencing. And third, it can be seen that it was difficult for the student to find specific into in a patient. There were 69.90% of participants from 30 samples answered as a question related to finding specific into incorrectly. And fourth, there were 2 questions are related to social function of analytical exposition text. 5. Students found difficulties in answering questions related to language feature as high as 68.9% from the question being tested. Students mostly were unable to find the correct answer. 26 students choose wrong option in question number 7. All right, and 18 students and 18 students were unable to answer questionnaire both number 11 and 20. Sorry, this table. And say from figure above, it can be seen that 60 of students answered question incorrectly related to identifying the main idea. Therefore, students who answered correctly are 40, and 7 identifying meaning of word were the second less problem had by student. And the last, student ability in answering question related to generic structure is low. From 3 questionnaire given, 3 were 60 student answer questionnaire number 5 incorrectly. As 73% student were unable to answer question number 9, and 16.7% student answered questionnaire number 4 incorrectly. And the last mean percentage of each item out in this indicator are 49.9%. This is right. Oh, sorry. This is. Let's move on. Factor effective students problem in comprehension analytical exposition text. Figure 2, internal factor affecting student problem in comprehending analytical exposition text. Questionnaire was used to find out student problem in comprehending analytical exposition text. The students were asked to respond 44 questionnaire related to factor causes reading comprehension problem. The student answered each item on a 1 to 4 scale with answer choice ranging from never to always. This instrument was used to answer research question number 2 about factor cause problem in reading comprehension. All right, next. Figure 3, internal factor affecting internal factor in student analytical exposition text. Figure 3 revealed that the most effective internal factor in the student problem to comprehend analytical exposition text was a student preparation followed by the general ability of students, 48.4%, learning interest, 47.32%, and learning motivation, 46.59%. Meanwhile, external factor that affect student reading comprehension problem is shown in figure 4.4. It can be seen clearly that external factor is dominated by student environment rather than availability of source. All right, let's move on discussion. Finding of this research indicate that 11th grade students in SMA and 1 Solok have problem in comprehending analytical exposition text. It can be seen from mean of students' score in reading comprehension test, which was only 35.6. The result was got from 25 questions from an indicator arts. Researchers also found that there were only 2 students within average and the rest were in low level. It could be seen that most of the problems came from inferential comprehension. Students were having problems in answering questions which answer is not stated directly in the text. Thus, from the chart revealed above, inference findings specific into and in the identifying main idea were 3 types question with the highest percentage of incorrect answer. It showed that most of students were unable to construct meaning from analytical exposition text given to them. It also can be concluded that student comprehension skills are just in literal level. All right, this is the last part, conclusion. From the data analysis and finding above, it can be concluded that second grade students in SMAN1 Solok has had problems in every aspect of reading analytical exposition text indicators being tested. However, the problems came from both external and internal factors such as student preparation, basic knowledge of English, and student environment. All right, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your attention and have a great day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.